So the asset tool does a couple things. One is it allows um, you to import and export data from SiteAudit. It allows you to import a discovery and organization structure that saves time for setup. And it also allows you to create custom fields, and then you can use the import function to put values in those custom fields. So it's a very easy way to add non-standard data into SiteAudit. And the people who would be interested in something like this would be maybe a technician or someone responsible for setting up SiteAudit. They might use the asset tool discovery import. Some fleet manager may want to supplement the data that they use. They may want to track um, certain types of information that aren't collected from the device itself. In the example here, we're going to look at service data, break and fix data. So that would be something maybe a fleet manager would be interested in. And a consultant may be interested in using asset tool to add some specific analysis. They might want to add in, for example, the speed of the devices, the pages per minute. That's not coming from the device. They might want to add that in, and so that they could do an analysis based on different segments within the fleet according to what their speed is. So there's different types of users will use the asset tool for different things. In this example, for this video, we're going to focus on break and fix. So break and fix might have information that be something like service records. So when did a repair occur? What was its cost? The date for that repair? How long did it take to make that repair? And what department, say, was that device in that needed the repair? So we can use the asset tool and add in some custom fields and then bring in that data so we can make these do this tracking. So you want to have the service date, and then you'd also have maybe some additional fields that SiteAudit already has, like the department and the firmware version, and then make and model, things of that nature. So that'll allow you to create some reports and do some tracking when it comes to break and fix. Now let's look at a real example here. So let's go to, this is SiteAudit, and I'm looking at SiteAudit version 7. Now if I go up to Tools and I scroll down here, I can see that Asset Tool is a new menu item. And when I launch it, what I see is I get 3 menu items here. I've got Asset Data, and Asset Data allows you to export data and also allows you to import data. Company allows you to import discovery and organization structures. And then the custom fields where we're going to look at allows you to create custom fields. And there's up to 15 custom fields that you can create. And 6 of those typically are string custom fields. There are 6 which could be integers. And then there's 3 fields which could be of date. And so for the break and fix example here, I've already created 2, and I'm going to add 2 more custom fields. So I've got a service date here. The category is called break and fix. And then there's a little description about what that column means. And then this would be the date string here. It's by month, day, and year. But if you were doing this in Europe, let's say, and you had a different format of day, month, year, then it would appear based upon your regional settings of your device. Here we're looking at repair time, and I've used an integer for that. Well, I'll just add like an hour, 1, 2, 3, etc. So now let's add 2 more fields. Let's add in here repair, and then I'm going to add that to the category here called break and fix, and I'll call this this is the repair description. Okay, so I'll add repair here, then I'll add 1 more string, and I'll call this repair repair cost. And again, this will be in the break and fix category, and this will be the cost fix the problem. So now I've got 4 different columns, 4 different custom fields, and so we're going to go ahead and close the asset tool. I'm going to now take a look at our view here, and so those columns should be available, and I can reach those columns by right-clicking on any column head and going to the column chooser here. And here I can see that repair is there. I can see that repair cost, the repair time, and also the service date. Those are all there. So these are our new fields in the view here. And now I want to add the information that goes with those new columns here. And I've got 2 options here. I've got one path I can do is I can look at any specific device, right click on it and go to its details. And what you'll notice is that there's a new tab here called Custom Fields. And under Custom Fields, I've got the category break and fix. And these are the 4 different custom fields that I've added. And I could certainly enter information here if I wanted to. I could enter in the service date, etc. But if I had a lot of data that I wanted to enter in, going to each device might take a long time. So another path I could use would be to import that information. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to Tools, and once again I'm going to launch the Asset tool. And in this case, what I want to do is I want to export. Okay. I'm going to export, and then I'm going to re-import here. So I'm going to export a file. I'll call it break and fix 2. Okay. And I'll save that, and it'll have some asset information, and then it'll have the opportunity to add in some custom data here, and then that'll allow me to import that. It'd be much easier to do that than doing it one device at a time. So let's take a look at that file, which is saved as a CSV file. And what I see here is, if I look at what's exported, is I got MAC address, serial number, asset tag, make, model, a number of things that identify the device. And if I move across here on the columns, I see these are all the different custom fields that I could have. So I've got the 6 strings, I've got the 3 dates, and I've got the 6 integers here as well. So now I could go ahead and fill that in if I wanted to, and then re-import it. Just to save time, I've already done that in this file here. So let's use that, and we'll take a look at it before we do the import here. So again, we've got the MAC address here all the way through to the date the device was installed. And here we can see I've got, these are the custom fields that we've added. So there's repair, and then there's repair cost, and then there's service date, and you can see the format used for service date, and then there's the repair time in hours. So these have all been just typed in here. So I've got, say for this particular Lexmark device, I had a new drum. The cost was $100, and this is the date it was done. This was a Sharp device. I did some work on the density meter. This is what it cost, and that was the service date all the way down through the rest of these devices. So now I've got all the information that I want to import. So now all I have to do is go and do the import here. So I'll go back up to SiteAudit, the view here, up to Tools, select the Asset tool, and then instead of exporting this time, what I'll do is I'll import that file. Here's the file here that I just showed you. Say open. close the asset tool, and we should see the data. There it is. So again, the new columns are repair cost, service date. If I went and looked at this device, specifically this one, I should also see that information under the details tab. And indeed I do. I see here's the category break and fix, and that's all the details that show in the column fields right here. Now I might want to go from here. I might want to create a report that shows the latest um, break and fix information, and I can certainly add more information as well. I might want to add in the firmware version. I might want to also add in, say, department. So I could look at this by department here, and I could group it by department, and that might be the basis for my report. And here I could also see, say, by department here, I could see that this particular Sharp device had a platen work done on. That's the cost, and the average time to fix that was 2 hours. Let's say, well, we've got more than one here. We can see the average time for these two items was 3.5 hours. So that's how you take a custom field, um, take an application using custom fields, uh, you export, and then you re-import the data, and then you've got it all in the SiteAudit view here for further analysis.